could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Bloody hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check as I'm chest, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Bloody hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds, they can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands. Stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds, they can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts.
What up, Finn fans? Welcome to another episode of the Finn Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C. And this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. Alrighty. Sorry, already starting off bad. This whole shit is messed up today. My thing's not up. I can't see comments. Good morning. Bonnie back in the building. Good morning, Bonnie. I hope your vacation was great. I'm about that. I'll be right back. I'm going to go. Sorry about that, man. Things are not wow, not going as expected this morning. I do apologize. Oh man, so my new cord should be here either today or tomorrow. Shout out to Michael Lombardo. Thank you. Sent me a gift. Hopefully help me get the training camp. Although I haven't received the tickets to training camp on my app yet, which I don't know if they're late giving them out this year, because TD had messaged me the other day and asked me if I got them, and I was like, no, not yet. And he was surprised he hadn't gotten his yet. So we shall see. But thank you, Michael Lombardo. Thank you, Glenn. Glenn sent a donation my way to hopefully help me get to Miami for training camp. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so much. So listen, training camp is like a week and a half away. They put the pads on. They get to work. Man, the Miami Dolphins football is right around the corner. It's so close you can taste it. Super excited. Nervous, but super excited for football to be back. I have higher hopes for this football team than a lot of people do, but and maybe that's just a fanboy in me, but I'm not down on this Dolphins team like a lot of people are. And I'm gonna bring up a few of the comments I've heard, few of the takes I've heard that I can't get on board with, and I don't understand the where these people are coming from. Glenn, I'm not really nervous. Them about our second round pick. It's not like you're going to cut Jonah before his 4 years are up, regardless. Could he suffer a career-ending injury? Sure, I guess he could, but typically, I don't think it's that risky to give a second round pick a fully guaranteed contract. You know what I mean? Yeah, Glenn, we start rookie camp tomorrow. Definitely excited. I mean, I hope I hope they can get it figured out. Like I said, typically you're not going to cut a second round pick before his 4 years are up. You know what I mean? So I don't see like it's a huge risk. But I think he definitely needs to be there. Well, I mean, Cam Smith is on the team, right, Miller? I mean, Cam Smith is still here. Absolutely, it's collusion. It's collusion by these. It's absolutely collusion by these agents. They're all getting together, talking like, "Hey, listen, one guy got two guys got fully guaranteed contracts that were drafted in the second round. We're all not going to sign until." We didn't cut Eichenberg. Exactly. So like I said, typically second round draft picks are going to be here for the duration of their contracts. You're not going to cut them. So I don't see the big deal about the fully guaranteed deals. Now, if you're talking third round, fourth round picks, yeah, I get it. But second round picks, it is what it is. And hopefully they can get something worked out. So you guys seen the thumbnail, Mike McDaniel, the Miami Dolphins franchise is at stake. So many different things can change and happen because of the outcome of this season. You might trade them, yeah, but they're still under contract, right? Just think of how different this team could look at this time next year. There could be a new general manager. There could be a new head coach. There could be a new starting quarterback. Shoot, there could be a new owner. Stephen Ross could step down. Stephen Ross could sell the team. Chances are there's no Tyreek Hill here next year. There may be no Jalen Phillips here next year. Bradley Chubb here next year. This team could be flipped completely. This team could look completely different next year. And a lot of the fans will be happy with that. A lot of the fans will be happy saying that we need full change. Now, I think changes need to be made to this team. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some changes need to be made. I think I think the job that Chris Greer did in this draft, I think he did a really good job this year. And I think if he would have been drafted like this in prior years, this team wouldn't be in the situation that it's currently in. If we had been addressing the offensive line and the defensive line like we should have been, this team would be strong in the trenches. And I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. That's the key to a successful franchise, is being strong in the trenches. Your big and uglies are physically dominating to other teams. Look at the good teams in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles coming off a Super Bowl win. Great on both sides of the ball in the trenches. Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Jones is dominant on their defensive line. Typically, they got a pretty good offensive line over there for Pat Mahomes. Baltimore Ravens are typically good in the trenches on both sides of the ball. The Buffalo Bills consistently, their starters on the offensive line play every damn game together. What up, Cap? What up? If we don't win, everybody is gone. And I believe you, Cap. And I think that there's enough talent on this team that it's justified that everybody's gone if we don't win. Nowhere Greer messed up was not building through a draft in 2021 and 22. I mean, you can. There's numerous things that Chris Greer has done wrong. And it's not all on Chris Greer, but a majority of the blame has to be put on Chris Greer. His drafting, certain trades that he's made, certain contracts he hasn't been willing to extend, certain players that he has extended. Now, you can call me a homer, a fanboy. You can say this, you can say that. The people that are going around saying that we're winning 5, 6, 7 games, I don't know where they're coming from. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what about this team makes you think that if we have a healthy Tua Tagovailoa, and it's not that people are saying, well, Tua's going to miss 10 games, that's why we're going to win 6 games. People think that if Tua plays the full year, it does not matter. We're in that 6-game win area. Glenn, in my opinion, Tyreek was worth it. Chubb, I don't think Chubb was worth it. Tyreek Hill is a game changer. Bradley Chubb's played decently for us, but Bradley Chubb's not a game changer. Tyreek Hill is a game changer. Now, would I have rather had Jamar Chase in that draft, and you wouldn't have had the trade for Tyreek? Yeah. Yep. He's younger. He's more of a complete receiver. Tua will go down. He's only been healthy one season. Walks like a duck. It's a duck. And Raphael, there's a good chance that he does. There's a good chance that Tua Tagovailoa gets hurt. And if Tua gets hurt, this team is going to be very bad. It's going to be very bad. We've seen what it looks like with Tua not here the last few years, and it's been very bad football. This team is not nearly the same. It's a complete disaster on the offense side of the ball. Even though we still have so many playmakers, it's just not the same. Quarterbacks struggling to throw the ball for 100 yards. Absolutely ridiculous. And I don't think Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers is going to come in and change that. (10-7) would be their saving record. I don't know because that's the status quo, right? I mean, we had a little dip in production last year, but we've made the playoffs the last couple of years. I mean, we didn't make it last year, obviously, but the 2 years before that, we made the playoffs. And Glenn, that's the way I'm looking at it. Outback Orchard says whine, whine, whine. I'm not whining about anything. I don't feel like I'm whining about anything. I'm stating how I feel. I'm not looking for sympathy. It's simple. If we don't win a playoff game, everybody's done. And I don't think that's unfair. We backed into the playoffs twice and was backed out last year. McDaniel almost had 2 collapses in 2 seasons. That's including 2023. But is that really on Mike McDaniel? I mean, Mike McDaniel deserves some fault. He deserves some fault in everything that happens with this team because he's the head coach, obviously. But I don't understand how people don't believe that the failures of this team have been injury related. And we haven't played our best against good teams. We haven't. But we've played good against good teams in bad situations. They're just overshadowed. We can't draft. We overpay in free agency. I agree. We struggle to draft and we do overpay in free agency. I think the Bradley Chubb trade was ridiculous. I think that the Jalen Ramsey trade was ridiculous. (2023) I don't see how you can. He can't help that all these guys got hurt. And even Bonnie 2024, 2022, can you blame for the 2 concussions? Because that's what really derailed those seasons. And I'm not trying to be that guy that makes the injury excuse, but facts are facts. If you have everybody can admit that quarterback is the most important position in all of football. If you can't stay healthy at the quarterback position, your team is going to suffer. You can't draft or sign injury-prone players. GM can help. Absolutely, Raphael. And Tua is fragile and will miss time. There's a very good chance of that, and I'm not disagreeing. And Edward, you're not wrong. Mike McDaniel still had issues calling in plays on time in 2023. Mike McDaniel could have been better as a coach. He's a first-time coach. He's struggled in the certain aspects of in coaching, time management, making in-game adjustments. He's definitely has to improve certain elements that he can control. Can't even run a quarterback sneak. We're toast. You're right about that. We do the touch push. Tua might be killed. With an elite O line, we can win. I believe that. I believe that true. I believe that too. If we can run the football consistently, that opens up the passing game. Tua's accurate. Tua can get the ball where it needs to be. Michael Lombardo says, Dolphin fans, help Big C get the training camp, please. Thank you. I appreciate that, Michael. I do. 2022 and 2024 ended up with Tua on the bench. Last few games, 2023, the rest of the team was injured. Exactly, Glenn. And like people say, well, everybody deals with injuries. Listen, if your quarterback's out, you're not going to win. Chances are. And in 2023, people don't understand the amount of crucial injuries we had on that team. It was unfair. It was completely unfair, the amount of crucial injuries that this Miami Dolphins team had in 2023. We were picking up pass rushers off the street. Our secondary was a hot mess. Our receivers were damaged. Our offensive line was in shambles. It's just, I mean, I just don't see how you think we can win that with that. And I don't care if Tua's out there throwing for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns a game. You're not going to win. You're not going to win with that setup. Now, I'm going to call out my girl, Miss Fins, a little bit. I was listening to her show the other day. Make sure you go subscribe, Miss Fins. She says she's not worried about this defense at all. It's the offense. The offense is the issue with this football team. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, that's a very easy thing to say that, hey, the offense is the cause of all the problems. Tua is the cause of all the problems on this football team. If you go back to last year and look at games that Tua played in, this offense averaged 25 points a game with Tua behind center. 25 points a game with Tua behind center. Should that not be enough to win in the NFL? Should that not be enough? Is it not expected your defense to hold the opposition to under 25 a game? Big C, you hear about Titans wide receiver we signed is dealing with offseason injury, undisclosed injury. Shake my head. Well, I didn't hear that. That's of course, of course. Now I have heard that the Miami Dolphins have been tied to Keenan Allen, so I mean, maybe if Nick Westbrook Akine is injured, that's something they end up pulling the trigger on. I do like Malik Washington though. They act like a couple of the undrafted free agent rookies have been playing pretty good. But that's just our luck, right? It's just our luck that we bring in a red zone target, and of course he's going to deal with injuries, undisclosed injuries at that. When Morgan Wallen comes out with a Cam Ward jersey on at his concert in Miami instead of Tua jersey, then chilling with JT tells me Tua is on borrowed time. I mean, I think Tua probably is on borrowed. I mean, Tua's always one hit away from being done. You know what I mean? And this is where some Tua lovers love me because they feel like I'm a Tua-non and I'm with them, and because I believe in Tua's ability as a football player. But this is where the Tua lovers hate me because Tua still needs to be replaced on this football team. You need to continue to draft quarterbacks. This team needs to go and keep trying to find their franchise quarterback because Tua Tagovailoa is not it. And the main reason that Tua is not the quarterback of the future is because he cannot stay healthy, and we cannot rely on him. We can't rely on him. We're sitting here almost guaranteeing that he's going to get hurt this year, and that's a terrible situation to be talking about your starting quarterback. Kosa, what's up? Now the 6-win nonsense. If Tua's healthy, I don't see a way that this team wins 6 games. I think the offense is going to be improved, and the offensive line, we have no idea what it's going to end up being, but I have to believe that Jonah and James Daniels are going to be better than Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg. I have to believe that. I have to believe that. Joe Riz, Morgan Waller is a country singer. He said, "Who is Morgan Waller and why does she have a jersey on?" Oh. The problem with you is you don't think Tua is a franchise quarterback, but Miami front office thinks he is. Glenn, what define franchise quarterback? It's a man country singer, Joe. He's a man. There's a lot of remixes with him doing rap songs and stuff, singing country lyrics to rap song beats. Glenn, what is your definition of a franchise quarterback? Because do I think Tua is Lamar Jackson? Do I think he's that's what I call a franchise quarterback. A franchise quarterback in my mind is Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, possibly Joe Burrow. Do I think Tua is if you take away the injuries, do I think Tua is good enough? Would I be happy with Tua as our quarterback minus the injuries? I would be. And I'll take the criticism if people want to shoot shots at me. Because I think Tua can still grow. I think Tua can still grow. I think Tua can still get better. That's true, Glenn. I mean, that's with anything with this football team and sports. Was Tannehill a franchise quarterback? I never felt as good with Tannehill behind center as I did Tua. I have to be real. I cheered for Tannehill. I thought Tannehill could get on a roll sometimes, and at times he looked really good. But I never felt the way about Tannehill as I do about Tua. Like Tua has had a couple real like shit games, 3 interception games where you're just like, that game's on Tua. That game's on Tua. That game last year in Buffalo before he got hurt, that was on Tua. The last year against the Texans with the 3 interceptions, that's on Tua. The year before that, or 2022 against Green Bay, where he got that concussion on Christmas Day, we was beating Green Bay, and then Tua got the concussion and threw 3 straight interceptions. That was on Tua. But Tua and this football team have been close to beating these good teams. 2022, December 17th, I think, the Dolphins lost to the Bills in Buffalo. Tua had 2 touchdown passes. Got it right here, I think. Dolphins lose to the Bills 29-32. Tua had 234 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. He almost beat the Bills he did beat the Bills in 2022, right? At home. 2023, we almost beat the Bills in that snowball game. 2024, we almost beat the Bills. And I know almost isn't good enough. I know it's not. But we're close. We're close. We're close. Even that Texans game where Tua threw 3 interceptions, we only lost by 8. Tua doesn't throw 3 interceptions and has a little bit better of a game. We can win that. These games that Tua's losing in the cold weather against good teams are winnable games if 1 or 2 plays goes the opposite way. Michael K, good morning. That the win. Tell me how the win, that the ceiling is 6 when we just won 8 games and Tua missed 6 games. Just tell me. If Tua's healthy, tell me how we win 6 games. When comments like that are made, it's not about Tua's ability to play the position. It's just plain hate. Now, if Tua was going out there and just being, and he's had the awful game. He has. I agree. If you score more than your opponent 6 times, that'll equal 6 wins. But we're going to score more than our opponent more than 6 times. We're liable to have 6 wins by the trade deadline. Big C starting this 2-week crash diet. No coffee, water. I don't see the Jets beating us. I don't. I don't see the Jets beating us. I feel like the Jets got worse than they were last year. Did you see Adam Rank's Dolphin previews of the schedule? He had us losing to Cleveland and but beating Buffalo. Adam Rank is a complete joke. Complete joke. I see Justin Fields killing us with his feet. I don't see it, Raphael. Glenn says, I will bet anyone Miami will have more than 6 wins. Bet it. Where's the bets? See, and that's because they spent a lot of money in free agency. What do they have on the offensive side of the ball, Joe? What do they have on the offensive side of the ball? Yeah, Mike Vrabel, I don't see it. Garrett Wilson, running back and tight end. The running back hasn't really done much. I mean, Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn was a decent defense coordinator for the Lions. We have no idea what Aaron Glenn's going to be as a head coach. Bonnie, I agree. Now that that opens up more questions though, because I don't think this defense, especially the cornerback room, I don't think we're going to be good enough to beat elite teams in the playoffs with the way our secondary is constructed. So that, we make the playoffs, perhaps we win a game. That means we're stuck with Mike McDaniel, Chris Grier, and Tua Tagovailoa for another season. And I don't know how I feel about that. Bro, they have an NFL coach who has made it to the playoffs many times, to the AFC Finals once. He inherited a run-dominant team with a top 5 O-line. First off, the Patriots don't have a top 5 O-line. I don't know what you're talking about. The Patriots' all offensive line is one of the biggest flaws on that football team. They got a good offensive line. What are you smoking? Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, the top 5 offensive line. That's one of their biggest holes. That's why they just literally went offensive lineman with their first pick, right? Or no, who was their first pick? Do you think overall did the secondary get better or worse? I think it got worse, Glenn. I think it got worse. Projected. No, they're not projected with they're not. They're supposed to be decent. They're supposed to be good defensively. I don't think the secondary did get better. I like our safety room better for sure, but you can't take out Jalen Ramsey and Fuller and replace them with Storm Duck and Marshall and say that our secondary is better. You just can't do it. I like the safety room better this year. I do. I think Minka's better than Javon Holland for sure. And I think the young guys will perform better than Jordan Poyer did. Fuller was hurt. He wasn't hurt as much as you think, though. How many games did Fuller miss? 4 or 5? And regardless, you still had Jalen Ramsey on the other side of the field. He missed 7 games. Yeah, I mean that's a lot, but he still played 10. And 10 games from Fuller, is better than. I'm just not. This corner room scares me, Glenn. It does. Now I do think the pass rush will help the defensive backs. I watched a little bit of the Bills game where they kicked the game-winning field goal against us last year, and on that final drive for the Bills, Cam Smith was on the field, and Josh Allen was attacking him, and Cam Smith didn't do horrible. Cam Smith didn't do horrible when Josh Allen kept attacking him. I think he threw 4 or 5 straight passes right at Cam Smith, and Cam Smith didn't do a horrible job. So maybe Cam Smith can be something. Maybe Cam Smith's one of those players that just doesn't perform well in practice. Maybe he's just one of those players. Oh yeah, listen. I'm not sitting here trying to praise Jalen Ramsey at all, but Jalen Ramsey compared to what we have now, it's night and day. Yeah, Edward, I don't know what he was talking about. Top 5 offensive line. They got a second-year unproven quarterback. They got an offensive line that with a huge question marks. They have minimal playmakers on the offensive side of the ball with a defensive-minded head coach. If the Patriots win games this year, it's going to be because of their defense. Now I got a question for all of you. Would you rather the Miami Dolphins come out this year, win 10, 11 games, make the playoffs, maybe win a wild card game, or would you rather it just be over? Would you rather the Miami Dolphins just take their lumps this year and Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, and Tua Tagovailoa be replaced? I think they spent most of their money on the defensive side of the ball, Miller. I do. I know they got the defensive tackle from Philly that they spent $30 million on. Well, that's the thing, Raphael. I don't know. I don't believe this team is a Super Bowl contending team. But then you got to have faith that Chris Greer can continue to grow this team in the future. If you take the second choice, your Dolphins card got pulled. Well, I think a lot of fans around the community, that's what they're hoping and praying for. They're hoping that Tua gets hurt. They're hoping that this team wins 6 games. Therefore, Tua gets replaced. Therefore, Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer get replaced. Well, yeah, Cap. I'm not saying. I'm asking, what would you prefer? Are you just sick and tired of Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer to the point that you'd rather take the losing season and get rid of them guys, or do you have faith that they can come out with a winning record this year and Chris Greer can continue drafting like he did last year? Because I think if Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer can survive this year and get to that draft next year, and if Chris Greer can come up with another draft like he had this year, I think the Dolphins could turn it around. They could turn it around. And Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer could be here for a very long time. But Chris Greer got to stop making the boneheaded mistakes he's made. Chris Greer got to stop making the boneheaded mistakes he's made. I think the Miami Dolphins need to continue to try to find a quarterback. And like I said, it's not because Tua's not good enough to win. That's not the case at all. I like Tua. Tua's the best quarterback we've had on the Miami Dolphins since Dan Marino. And now people are taking shots at Dan because he never won a Super Bowl. Listen, yep, Dan didn't win a Super Bowl. Dan had some poor games also. But people, this is not a sport where one player can win you a Super Bowl. It's just not. It's not a sport. This isn't basketball. This isn't basketball where one player can be so dominant that they can just overcome all the shortcomings of their team. This isn't basketball where one player can be so dominant that they can just overcome all the shortcomings of their team. Now, if you don't look at them Dolphins teams with Dan Marino and realize that there was so many shortcomings on that team, then you're narrow-minded. You're very narrow-minded. You're just turning on everybody. Any Dolphin fan that says, screw Dan Marino, what Dan Marino do? Like, oh my goodness gracious. Any Dolphin fan that says, screw Dan Marino, what Dan Marino do? Like, oh my goodness gracious. Now we've gone through some dark times, but there's lots of teams in this league that have never won a Super Bowl. We've won 2. We're one of the NFL's most winning franchises. Yeah, Bonnie, you ain't got to tell me about Dan. Like, I love that man. Like, he a member of my family. You know what I mean? But there's the fans out there that are crucifying Dan now because he didn't win anything. But I think I still hope that we can address the cornerback room in some shape or form. I think this offensive line, the fan in me believes that this, like I said, it might just be the fanboy, but I believe Jonah is going to be better than Liam Eichenberg. James Daniels going to be better than Robert Jones. This offensive line is going to be improved. We Tua under center last year scored 25 points a game. I think this offense can be better this year. Michael Dan's my favorite player too. Thank you for the card and the little coin that you sent in the mail too, Michael. That's very cool. I wanted to show it. I'm going to show it tomorrow. I had left it downstairs though in my podcast room. Very cool. Again, Michael Lombardo's sent me a gift along with Glenn to help me get to training camp. I super appreciate that. Hopefully the tickets come soon, so I know exactly get the dates down exact on which ones I'm going to and which ones I got tickets for. Bonnie said I'd leave my husband for Dan. Also, let me see if I can pull them up. For the people that were talking about the Airbnb for a game or for training camp, I looked up a couple in Sunrise, Florida area. Let me see. Show some of the pictures. So if people are interested in that, let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Now, somewhere, if there's a bunch of us throwing down on it, we could definitely find cheaper ones, but I'm just saying, like, one of these would cost less a night. Let's say 4 or 5 of us got together. One of these would cost less a night than a hotel would. Oh. Nice, right? Literally, if 4 people wanted to throw down, everybody'd have 4 or 5 people. Everybody'd have their own room, obviously. Pool table, little game room. Let's see. Let's see if I can't find another one. Here's another one real quick. Let's see. Nice pool, hot tub, outdoor space, game room, beautiful outdoor space, right? Like TV, look at those loungers, fire pit area. Big grill area. Like I said, everybody get their own bedroom. Yeah, but definitely let me know. Maybe we can make something happen. Yeah, that's something like me and my wife, we rent something like that when we go down to Florida. We have a great time. Usually like ours is more towards Kissimmee and stuff because we usually go to Universal, but far away from training camp. No, I'm saying that place is in Sunrise, Michael. Well, I appreciate that, Bonnie. I wish you could come though. Like I really wish you could come. Miller, you don't think we're gonna be a good team, so how you think we're gonna beat a you know what I mean? I want to guarantee a win because I don't want to spend all that money if we ain't winning. That's why I'd like if for I'd like to see the Saints game. There ain't nothing worse than going and losing. I want my first time at a Miami game to be a W. You know what I mean? Yeah, Michael, that's what you had said. You had said to look in Sunrise, right? That's where I looked. But yeah, training camp is a little over a week and a half away. Rookie training camp starts tomorrow. Hopefully, the Dolphins get the deal done with Jonah. The pads will be on. Hopefully, we get the. Listen, hopefully, the Miami Dolphins make some kind of move at the cornerback position. Hopefully, we have some young guys that step up. I'm hoping that Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel know what they're doing. I'm hoping that Weaver knows what he's doing because I still have high expectations for this team. I think if the cards are played right, we could compete with the Buffalo Bills for the division. I think as far as an all-around team, we can compete with the Bills. Joe Riss says I'm in on a get together. Well, we gotta figure it out. We gotta figure it out. We gotta figure out when people are really agree on a date and put the down payment on a house and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I think this Miami Dolphins team can be very dangerous if Tua can up his play a little bit. If Mike McDaniel can be a little bit better of a head coach, we can close the gap. We can close the gap. I mean, we could do it for Camp Joe or we can do it for a game. I would say probably two nights, 3 nights. I'd probably say 2 or 3 nights. I mean, if you guys wanted to do it for the Saints game, we could do it for the Saints game. And well, we have to know where is camp. It's down there in Miami Gardens, right? Well, if people are serious, I'll find one that's available for the. I got to see about these tickets. I don't know when they're supposed to come. My car smells like a pound. Yeah, I mean, we could definitely run. We could definitely throw down and rent a big boy SUV or something. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. A hotel, you're spending 230 a night, 240 a night. You're spending that for 2 nights at one of these places. You know what I mean? Joe says you'll drive over to have his Jeep. Yeah, because I'll have to get plane tickets and all that. You know what I mean? So whoever's really truly down 100%, let us know whether it's camp or you know what I mean or the game. I'm not going to be able to do both. Because that take me flying down 2 times, the money for the Airbnb 2 times. You know what I mean? So if you guys would rather go to the camp or rather go to the game, let me know. I requested a shit ton of tickets for training camp, but they haven't came yet. I work tomorrow morning, so the show tomorrow will be about 2:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30. We'll cap it. Depends on how many people we got, and then I gotta find the exact house. Let me see. That was 776 divided by 5. So for the one house I showed, that it was a little bit of a pricier house. It'd be 153 a night if we had 5 people. All right, so let's say the Saints game, and if Cap's in, Joe's in, I'm in. We'll see who else is in, and yeah, we'll figure it out soon. But you don't have to put the full amount down. Cap, I'll keep looking. I had another one to show too. Send me an email and I'll send you guys some houses. Let me get my email address out here. Shoot. Damn it. And for life 1884 at gmail. So that's my email. Whoever's interested, send me a shoot me a shot on that email, and I'll send you guys some more pics. Absolutely, Michael. Go down with us, Michael. Go down with us. All right, folks. I'm gonna get out of here. Shows tomorrow will be 2:30. I'll get on as soon as I get out of work. And Posse, thoughts on if we Dolphins do not make playoffs or first round playoff elimination? If we don't make the playoffs, changes need to happen. Chris Grier needs to go. At the very least, Chris Grier needs to go. If we lose out in the first round again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Stephen Ross pulls the plug. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he pulls the plug. I think there's a possibility that he pulls the plug. I think there's a possibility he lets him stay. But I do think that we need to continue the draft the way that we did this year. And I think we need to continue to try to find a franchise quarterback that can remain healthy, that we can count on week in and week out. Because that's my major downfall with Tua. What up, Shake? What up? But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Put the notification bell on. You know what it is. And I'll see you tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern time. Till then, you know what it is. Fins up, baby. Peace. It's not turning off. It's not letting me end the stream.